Hi everybody, this is Bob Iacchino along with Mike Arnold. It is June 17th. We are from Path Trading Partners and this is a weekend update Path Chat covering the futures markets. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. If you are interested in a quick review of last week and a preview of the economic calendar for the upcoming week, check out the FX Path Chat, the weekend update FX Path Chat for the week beginning June 18th. That is up on our YouTube channel along with this one. Watch about the first 10 minutes or so of that if you're not an FX trader, and you'll get the review and preview of next week. If you're an FX trader, please check out the whole video. Also, a new Money Path podcast is out. You can find it at pathtradingpartners.com or on iTunes or Google Play. It is the Money Path podcast if you're searching it on the two latter that I just mentioned. Otherwise, let me turn it over to Mike to cover the VIX and the futures that we look at every single day. Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Bob. So, quick check-in. VIX closing at 1038 for the week. Had a slight pop-up early in the week, but back down into that 10 range. We'll have to see where it goes next week, if it reapproaches that 9 range or not. Let's check out what some of the financial futures did. Dow futures, new highs, then slightly pulling back off of those new highs. Really caught between this 21,360 to 70 level and the rising 8 coming in about 21,260. So if we get above on Monday, above Friday's highs, 21,366, we have a GAN cluster coming in at 21,462 to about 470. That's going to be our first target on a continued rally, and then our next extended target is 21,582 to about 590. We have a second GAN cluster. If we do pull back, 12.5% GAN support coming in at 21,253, also with the rising 8. If that is broken, we can see some minor support coming in about 21,216 to 21,207. That's going to be right in here. Then if we drop below that, we have another GAN cluster, 21,150 area with the rising 21. So that's going to be a very key level on a pullback. S&P not making new highs as of Friday. Found some support at the rising 21, 2,420 area. Ran up to about the 2,437 area, pretty much closing flat on the day right at the 8. What are we going to be watching for? On a rally on Monday, we have key resistance coming in at 2,438. Then we'll be watching for a retest of the most recent high area, 2,443 to 44. If we get through that 43 to 44 area, 2,455 to 56 is going to be key. Pullback. Strong support area coming in at 2,420 to 2,419, right in this area. If we drop below that, next key area we're watching for is 2,414, and then we could trade down if that's broken to the 2,406, which is a 37.5% retracement area. If we had a bigger sell-off, the next major key area is 2,402 to 2,400, which is a prior breakout zone. Over to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ futures. These have been the weakest so far. They were the strongest, leading for a very long time. Now the pattern somewhat shifted. The Dow's the strongest, with the Dow 30 starting to lead, and the NASDAQ's pulled back and is the weakest out of the three we're following right now. We have a minor potential double bottom here. We'd have to get above this peak price coming in at 5,789, so watch for that, and that would return us to the highs if that was going to be triggered. Before that happens, if we do rally on Monday, first level of resistance coming in at 5730 area, then significant resistance coming in at 5744 to 5750, where we have a first cross rotation zone. If we get above that, GAN cluster coming in at 5766 to 5773, which is going to be next resistance, then we'll watch for a return to the peak of this potential double bottom, 5789, very key level. If we head lower, we're going to find some minor support right around Friday's lows, 56.61. Then we have a flattening 50 coming in at 56.50. That's going to be key because we also have a rising trend line. So this area is going to be very, very key support should we get a sell-off. If that is broken, the next support level will be 56.26, and then we don't have anything down until the 55.96 to 5600 level. Switching over to crude oil. Crude oil. Pretty decent sell-off over the last couple weeks. Slight rally on Friday. It's going to define things. If we can get above Friday's highs coming in at about 44.94. So if we can get above that 45 level, we have 45.01 GAN level, 12.5% retracement level. We'll be watching. We have this trend line area of this kiss the trend line goodbye in the lower one, and the declining upper trend line coming in about 45.40. We have at the 8 EMA coming in right about 45.60. So that 40 to 60 range is going to be critical resistance. Also, it's now a breakdown zone coming at 45.63. If we do get above that 45.81, then we'll be watching for the 46.50 level on a strong rally, which takes us into the middle of the rotation zone. We're going to have support right around this 44.22 to 44.24 area. If we do break below that, we're watching for a return to this key low coming in at 43.76. If that 43.76 level is violated, next level down 43.40 and then 43.13. Switching over to copper. Copper has been caught in this range for a very long time. Found some support at our rising trend line on Thursday, and then Friday was an inside bar, very narrow range. We have a lot of overhead resistance with all our key moving averages. So overhead resistance coming in about 258 to about 258.4. If we get through that, we're watching for 260.36 area, then a return of to test our significant level 261.66. Then on an extreme rally, we have the 263.86 area. If we break below the 255.73 support level, significant level, we're going to be watching for minor support coming in about 254.53. Then we have trendline support 253.77 and a trendline new defining point coming in at 253.50. Break down through there. Next key level of support is coming in at 251.62. Really have to get out of this key range though before we see any major movement in copper. Switching to gold. Gold also very narrow inside bar, slightly down day on Friday. If we do rally, first level of resistance coming in about 12.58 to 12.59 right in here. If we get above that, we'll be watching for first cross rotation zone and significant level, all coming in at the same area, 12.65. Then above that, 12.67. Then we'll be watching for 12.68 to 69 as major resistance. If we pull back and get below the 12.52.50 to 12.53, 12.50.80 is going to be the next key support. Then we don't have anything down to about 12.47 to 12.46 area. If that is broken, we could see a return to about the 12.43 declining 200-day moving average, and then we have a rising trend line coming in at 12.39 to 40 area. And finally, to wrap up this weekend update, we're taking a look at silver. Silver also in, let's see if it was an inside day on Friday. Lows 1662. The lows on Thursday were 1662. So that had matching lows, lower highs. Technically an inside day. So 1662 is going to be some key support on a sell-off on Monday. If we get through that, 1658. Below 1658, we don't have any more levels down until about the 1643 to 1642 level. Rally back up. Resistance coming in at 1680. Right near a prior breakdown zone, 1680 to 81. If we get through that, we'll be watching for 1689. Then a return to the declining rotation zone, 1695, which is going to be resistance if we have a very strong rally. Major resistance coming in at 1703 to 1707 area. That's all we have for you with this weekend update. I'm turning it back over to you, Bob.
Thanks for that, Michael, and thank you guys for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everybody.